A lot of people I speak to are genuinely worried about AI. They worried about their jobs, about their businesses, and what this means for their future. And I think that fear is completely reasonable. I want to talk about this because I hear a lot of strong opinions about AI, especially statements like AI won't replace jobs, but people using AI will. I personally think that's unhelpful and even arrogant. It's a wrong way to frame what is happening. It pushes people to act out of fear. And I don't believe fear is a good place to make decisions from. When I listen to people talk about AI, I get the sense that they're not really afraid of the technology itself. What I do hear instead are a few deeper concerns. Firstly, there's a fear of the unknown. AI is unpredictable, and humans generally feel safe when they can anticipate outcomes. When we don't know what's coming next, our brains tend to fill the gaps with worst case scenarios. Think about moments like company restructures or sudden market crashes or new regulations being announced without clear guidance. Even before anything actually happens, uncertainty alone creates the stress and the fear. AI triggers a similar reaction. People don't know what skills will still matter, how fast things will change, or whether they'll have enough time to adapt. And that lack of clarity, more than the technology itself, is what creates anxiety. Secondly, there's also a very real fear around livelihood. Most of us depend on our work to support ourselves, our families, and our own future. We've seen this kind of disruption before. During COVID, entire industries were forced to shift to online calls and remote work almost overnight. For some people, that created flexibility and new opportunities. For others, it completely destabilized how they worked, how they earned money, or even interacted with their clients. The technology itself wasn't malicious, but the speed of change threatened people's sense of stability. AI brings a similar feeling. When a new technology appears to change how work is being done, anxiety does make sense. And then lastly, there's social fear as well, a lack of trust. People worry that those with more knowledge or access to new technology will use it to their advantage in a world that already feels competitive and unequal. What helped me personally was not optimism, it was understanding. The more I learned about what AI can do, and just as importantly, what it can't do right now, the calmer I became. Learning about AI didn't remove all uncertainty, but it did give me context. It helped me see the limitations, the trade offs, and the reality, not just the headlines. It also helped me to see new opportunities. The work I do today as an AI architect around AI automation and system design simply didn't exist a few years ago. That doesn't mean everyone needs to do what I do, but it does mean that new roles and new skills and new ways of work are emerging. One thing I've also noticed with clients is that once they actually start using AI, there's often a reality check. They realize it's not as powerful or as magical as they imagined. It makes mistakes. It has limits. It needs structure and it needs guidance. And that realization doesn't remove uncertainty completely, but it does give people back a sense of control at least. And that's usually when the question shifts from, will AI replace me, to how do I position myself around this new technology? I don't think the biggest risk right now is AI itself. Personally, I think that the bigger risk is opting out of understanding what is happening, not becoming an expert, not mastering all the tools, but just choosing not to look is the biggest danger, because when things move fast and feel overwhelming, avoidance can feel easier, but it usually increases anxiety rather than reducing it. One very simple thing that helped me was staying informed. For example, I subscribe to a short daily AI newsletter called The Rundown. It's not a sponsor of this video, but it takes about 5 minutes to read and helps me to stay grounded in what's happening every day without being overwhelming. And that keeps me from speculation, and getting too deep into AI news can quickly become a rabbit hole, and that's not good for you either. So don't go all the way in there. If you're consuming every update, every breakthrough, every opinion, it actually increases anxiety instead of reducing it again. So, but there is a balance in the middle. A small, consistent amount of information is usually enough. The goal isn't to know everything, it's just to stay oriented and seeing what AI can do, what it can't do yet, and how people are actually using it reduces a lot of unnecessary fear and actually starts encouraging hope and optimism. I'll leave a link in the newsletter in the description if you want to check it out. I don't believe AI is here to make us less human. If anything, I think it gives us the opportunity to double down on the things that humans are good at. Things like creativity, relationships, judgment, and nuance. But that only happens if we're willing to engage with what's changing instead of looking away. And that starts with understanding. If you want help thinking about how AI might fit into your business, I offer a short discovery call where we can talk through your workflows and whether AI even makes sense for you. There's a link below to book a call.